Hello and welcome to MCPSS Athletics. My name is Calvin Chris, Athletic Director for Mobile County Public Schools. In the studio today we have LaFleur High School represented with swim coach Chris Andrews and softball and volleyball coach Miss Barbara McCovery. But first let's get to our scoreboard. In Thursday night action, Davidson defeated Charles Henderson 34-14 as the Warriors paid tribute to Charles Henderson defensive back DeMarco Harris, who passed away a year ago on the football field against the Warriors. We pray that God will continue to be with this young man's family. In Friday night's action, in the game of unbeatens, the Blunt Leopards used their defense to beat the McGill-Tulane Catholic Yellow Jackets 17-14. The difference in the score was a 33-yard field goal from Alvarado Almajo. And congratulations to the Leopards of Blunt, who are now undefeated and hopefully move into the top 10 of the state. Cincinnati Wildcats snapped a 16-game losing streak, defeating the Satsuma Gators 25-20. Congratulations, Coach Funk and his staff, and also the community of Cincinnati. The Williamson Lions survived 2 overtimes in defeating LaFleur 24-18. Higginbotham completed a tipped 29-yard pass in the second overtime to provide the difference. P. Ryan rushed for 292 yards and 3 touchdowns, leading Theodore to a 35-28 victory over the previously undefeated Park Crossing High School from Montgomery, Alabama. Bracy rushed for 3 touchdowns as the Baker Hornets returned to their winning ways in a 28-9 win over BC Rains. The MGM Vikings handed Baldwin County High School their first defeat of the season in a 35-19 win over the Tigers. Egan rushed for 4 touchdowns to lead the Vikings. Murphy lost a heartbreaker 28-27 in the last second to Daphne High School. The Alma Bryant Hurricanes had a bye this week. And that is it for this week's scoreboard. After this message, we'll be back with Coach Andrews.
Do you have what it takes to be an Envision graduate? We are pioneering students to be all they can be, from 6th grade all the way to 12th grade.
I definitely would recommend Envision to other students who feel the way I feel. They really work with you, and they've gotten tutors, and you have online teachers to talk to.
It starts right here. It starts right now. Envision Virtual Academy. Enroll today.
The quality of education that I received from the Mobile County Public School System really prepared me for global success. Being an international opera singer, I get to travel all across the world. And one of the most important aspects about that is being able to communicate and work with people. And the Mobile County Public School System really equipped me to be greatly successful worldwide.
Welcome back to our first segment. We've got Coach Chris Andrews, the swim coach from LaFleur High School. Coach, appreciate you coming by today.
Thanks for the invite.
We don't often get swim coaches. I let the ADs sign up and send whoever they wish to bring, and it's always good to have swim coaches and cross-country coaches. A lot of times they want to come and just talk about football, and we know there's a lot more going on. So, Coach, to start out, we want to let you tell us a little bit about your teaching and coaching career up to this point.
Well, I started off at BC Rain as a special ed teacher over there. I was in coaching. I started off JV basketball over there. Did 7 to 8 years over there. After I left BC Rain, started at Davidson. Did Davidson for 2 to 3 years. And now I'm at, this is my second year at LaFleur. And I'm doing swimming, and this is my second year, and I've had two swimmers this year.
When you came to LaFleur, did you come for swimming, or when you got there you was asked to maybe take it over?
Well, I was asked over during the summer to take it over, and I didn't have a problem with it because coming out of high school, I've been swimming pretty much all my life. Me and my cousins, we swam at the YMCA, the Chandler branch. And during the summertime, I was been lifeguarding for the city of Mobile, and just ever since '95, I've been lifeguarding every summer, and that's been my summer job after school lets out.
That is one thing I've always wanted to do, except my problem is I don't like to get my head wet, so I guess I'll never be a lifeguard, and I really don't think God gave me the physique to be a lifeguard, but that is great. A lot of times, Coach, and the reason I asked you the question to start with is we go into a school and we're asked to coach something, and I know first-year teachers, I hear it all the time, you know, and they've never played the sport. And it's always good when we have someone, you know, that comes in that does have an experience. And of course, being around the water and all, it seems like all your life, you know, that really helps. And I think it makes for a whole lot a better transition in your coaching styles and all. So, Coach, tell us a little bit about swimming practice, how you go about it. I know, like I said, I think you're the second swim coach I've ever had on here. So how do you go about, you know, your swim practice and all? What part of the day and what drills maybe that you use?
We'll swim at least 2 to 3 days out the week. Want to give them a little rest in between. But we'll start practice maybe swimming the length of the pool a few times. I even get in the pool myself to get some exercise for myself. But we're working on technique. We're working on developing breathing uncontrollably. I'm sorry. And really just trying to develop consistency in the water. Trying to, because some of my kids have not been in competition before, so we're trying to develop some type of little work program for them.
Coach, how long does swim practice normally last? I know you have to be careful. It's not like some other sports you can go out there and practice 2.5, 3 hours.
Right.
You know.
We'll go about an hour. We'll go about an hour. I give them a little break in between or something. Try not to exhaust themselves out,
Right.
but just take your time. And then also, I have swimmers that's their first time in competition. So trying to get to the programs of other schools, but we're taking baby steps though.
You know, Coach, it makes a lot of difference, and of course, you know, some parents have more money than others. They're able to put them in lessons, and also you see some of these swimmers, they're swimming year-round, aren't they?
Right,
and,
right.
You know, you want to go into that a little bit?
That's
a big
one
advantage.
that's one of the big advantages right there. And with our program, we're at a disadvantage because we have some kids that's probably not don't have the funds or anything to get into those swimming programs. But I have a friend, Coach Tinsley, down at Bishop State. He has a program that he works with kids who's not able to produce those funds right there, and he works with me well, and I send a few kids down there to Bishop State and during the summertime and he works with them.
Well, that's good. Have you had any meets yet?
We had one, but due to a family emergency, we missed that one. But we have 2 to 3 in the month of October, and then also November before the sectional start and the state meet.
Coach, go through and I know a lot of viewers out there may not know, go through a typical swim meet, the events that are run and you know, the organization of it.
Well, we swim down at Bishop State.
Is that usually
That's the
place,
site, yeah. That's pretty
site?
much the site right there. It's events probably starting at 10:30 or maybe 11, and the events going by fast. You may have the 50 meters, you may have the 50 meter intermediate, 100-yard breaststroke, regular stroke. But each event is going by fast. So when you get through with one event, the next swimmers or the next event is coming up, and they're moving just like that.
Well, that's good. All right, Coach, we're going to have you back in our last segment, and after this message, we'll be back with Ms. McCovery.
It started for me when I went into the first grade, and then I went on to George Hall Elementary School, and from there to Williamson, where I graduated. The public school system, it had a great impact on me because not only did it prepare me academically for my future career, but it also prepared me for life. Because of its diversity of students and teachers, it really gave me a well-rounded education.
The more parents are involved in school, the more likely it is a child will succeed. Children with involved parents and attend school regularly make better grades and have better social skills. Every involved parent makes a difference.
Get involved.
Ask about your child's day.
Explain how your education matters. Parent involvement, it matters.
You can find more information on parent involvement at MCPSS.com.
Welcome back to our second segment. We've got Miss Barbara McCovery, and Miss McCovery does softball and volleyball at the floor. Thank you so much for coming, Miss McCovery.
Thank you for the invite.
Miss McCovery, you want to tell us a little bit about your season up to this point?
So far, our season, we're 4-4 right now.
Great, okay.
So that's
breaking even, that's good.
Right, batting 500.
That's good. Miss McCovery and I have known one another for a long, long time. Go back to, I think everybody's taught it out at one time or another in their career. So, but Ms. McCovery, take us through your career. Going back, you know, I think you started at Alba, didn't you?
That's my first job.
First job. You want to take us through your career up to your point to the floor?
Okay. Yes. I started in October 1986. Came to Alba as a special ed teacher. Stayed in special ed for about 3 years until I started acting like the kids, so they said I had to move. So I started teaching PE and taught there on that end of the county for 19 years.
I didn't realize
yeah,
you were there
I left
that
from
long.
Alba, and you know, when the two schools
Right.
combined, I went to Bryant. And then after that, I came to LaFleur in 2005 and been there ever since.
So you've been at LaFleur about 10 years now,
Yes.
haven't you? Well, that's great. Miss McCovery's brother was one of the best defensive coordinators around for a long time, and he's unfortunately has retired. We're still working, Miss McCovery. So, and he started after us. So
Yes.
there's something wrong with that picture.
Right.
But he was such a great guy, and we wish him well in retirement. Miss McCovery, talk a little bit about some of your players this year that you've got. Some of your top players.
I'm gonna highlight maybe 3 of them.
Okay.
The first one would be a little 10th grader. She came to me as from Booker T in 9th grade, and that would be Veronica Crenshaw, and very dominant young lady. Can play at any Division I school if she continued to work hard. And I have Asia Pugh. She's a senior. She's been with me since 9th grade, and she came from Phillips. She's an outside hitter and my #1 setter, and also another one that could play on Division I if she continue. Even if she don't continue as a volleyball player, academic, she's has I think a 4.1 GPA right now, so she can get an academic scholarship. And I have Tarmika Malone. It was she hit with both hands. It depends on which way the ball is set. She can hit left-handed or right-handed.
That's great. That's
and don't have very much height, but I guess she have a vertical about 21, so she could play. But she's chose to go to the Navy. So.
I've now got somebody coming in, and Coach Lowell, who is helping with our middle schools, and we're hoping to do a little more with our middle school athletics. I know, to no fault of anybody, we've got some hard-working middle school coaches. A lot of them were, we talked earlier about, they're given a teaching job, then they're made almost to coach. So, you know, they're at the mercy of looking in books and all, and certainly we want to help these people, but I think we've got to do something to help our high schools, and I think one of the number one things we can do is help our middle schools.
Exactly. What I have done in the past, well, not since I've been at LaFleur, but when I was at Bryan, I used to do volleyball camps for the middle school. And see, that's something I want to try to incorporate at Booker T, trying to get the kids at Booker T to come to a camp. Even I have invited them to come even watch the level that we're playing on right now, trying to get them more motivated into getting better in the sports.
Well, you know as well as I, it's gotten to the point where you can't just pick the ball up when the season starts.
No,
I mean, we've
it's
got
a year-round thing.
I mean, club is just taking over, and you know, if your kids are not doing these things, then they're being left behind, aren't they?
Exactly. Like you said, volleyball is a year-round sports. If they're not playing club, then they are behind. So it's a sport that you have to stay involved. But club is so expensive.
It is.
And some of our kids can't afford to participate.
We need to really look into something, maybe getting with the boys clubs or something, and seeing boys and girls club, and see what we can do with you know, trying to get some help, because I think it is important, and you're exactly right. If we don't do something, you know, we're just going to continue to get further and further behind. Right. I know, I don't know that I'd have to get a second job to put mine in club ball. I mean, it is that expensive, because these people not only are practicing here, but they're traveling all over the Southeast.
Exactly.
And I just think it's important that we provide these opportunities for all of our kids.
Yes.
Talk a little bit about your area and the teams in it. Volleyball in Mobile is pretty strong.
It is, and to me, it's stronger down here in the South than it is up north. And our area would be Central, Blunt, myself, and
that's okay. I can't. That's why I asked you, because I can't. They all kind of run together.
Right.
But I mean, there's some good teams there.
Yes,
you know,
and right now we played Blunt last week, and she got a great group of girls.
Yes, always got athletes.
Exactly. And Central, we played them, and their program has I mean, came up so. She's a great coach. She came from Satsuma, I think. This her first year, and she's doing a very good job with. So our area is pretty strong.
Yeah, you have to be on top of the game every
exactly.
week.
You can't slack none.
Okay, if you'll stay right there, we're gonna take a little break here, and we'll bring Coach Andrews back. And now we want to go to a LaFleur Scholar Special, and then after that we will bring Coach Andrews in, and we'll finish up.
Privilege and an honor for me to be his mom, because he has always exemplified good characteristics, you know, in terms of being a team player. He loves his coach, and of course he loves his school.
You know, he's no problem around the school. He's going to do what he's supposed to do. He's going to be where he's supposed to be, and it doesn't surprise me that he's been selected.
You know, it's a lot of other players and a lot of other student athletes throughout the school, and for me to be chosen to be one of them is a great honor.
Well, he's a hard worker, has a job. He's also playing football and also has to get his studies. And just the type of kid that's been raised well. We like everything about him. I think he has like a 3.2, 3.3 GPA. So it says a lot for a kid that has a job and also, is playing sports.
We always stress academic first. Make sure you put your grades first before anything. And he has done a good job of that.
You have to be disciplined. You have to be able to balance the two and prioritize things that you do. Say I might not be able to go to the mall with my friends or go to the movies. I have to stay and study for a test or review more film for the next game. You have to be disciplined.
He's one of our leaders, and the kids love him to death because he's a hard worker. He's not one of those vocal guys. He's one of those guys that lead by example, and the kids love him out there.
I think the key to being successful is listening, really more than talking. And listen to your elders and your adults, and make sure, because they went through everything that you're going through right now, so you have to pay attention and listen.
Do you have what it takes to be an Envision graduate? We are pioneering students to be all they can be, from 6th grade all the way to 12th grade.
I definitely would recommend Envision to other students who feel the way I feel. They really work with you, and they've gotten tutors, and you have online teachers to talk to.
It starts right here. It starts right now. Envision Virtual Academy. Enroll today.
Smartboard, that's
The quality of education that I received from the Mobile County Public School System really prepared me for global success. Being an international opera singer, I get to travel all across the world. And one of the most important aspects about that is being able to communicate and work with people. And the Mobile County Public School System really equipped me to be greatly successful worldwide.
Welcome back to our last segment. We've brought Coach Andrews back with Miss McCovery. And Coach, you was talking about, I think you've got a junior and a freshman swimmer. I know you're probably wanting a bigger squad than that, aren't you? So have you got plans to, after the season, to maybe try to recruit a little bit more?
Yes, one of the issues that we have when we start the season off is make an announcement for swimmers that know how to swim. Would you like to join the swim team? The thing is, you need to be able to swim up and down the pool. This is not a swimming lesson, so that's one of the issues that I have. And walking through the hallway, Coach, you gonna teach me? I said, no, baby, this is not a swim class. Now, you need to know how to swim.
Now, Coach, with your lifeguard, and I guess you could be on the lookout maybe for some of your swimmers. I don't know where your lifeguard at, but I know that pool that used to be there. Well, I guess it's still there at the it figures,
lifeguard at Hillsdale Pool.
Oh, at Hillsdale. Okay. Okay. Well, you need to get transferred over there by Figures, where you can get you some swimmers. So
sometimes she moves me over there. My boss in the summertime.
So that'd be a perfect spot for you, wouldn't it?
Yes, sir.
That's great. I know. I guess that swimming is not something that a lot of people like to do. It's just a fun time to lay in a tube or something,
Right.
and not be competitive with it. But I've watched some of the meets, and some of the meets are very competitive. We got some very good swimmers in this area. And you want to talk a little bit maybe about some of them in your area that some of the other teams?
We do. Just recalling from last season, my swimmer last year, Chris Drussel, he went up against some stiff competition. We had Spanish Fort, Saraland, and then also we swam against UMS and other top schools that have those top swimming programs. And he produced real well. We came up short toward the end in sectional, where he missed it by maybe a tenth of a second to qualify for state. But it's some tough competition.
But that gives him something to really work for, doesn't
Right.
it? I'm gonna get that other 10 seconds.
Yes, sir.
Ms. McCovey, of course, you double up as softball coach, and I know volleyball is what, about halfway through?
Yes, sir.
And I guess after that you've got your evaluation period, and so you don't get much break, do you?
Right, none at all. So as soon as volleyball over with, softball conditioning started. So we started weightlifting and just running, trying to get the girls in shape for the upcoming season.
And you brought up a good point. 10, 15 years ago, we never thought about weightlifting for females, but it's gotten to the point,
You
know, even people think basketball, but I mean, basketball is so physical, and the advantage that weightlifting can give you in volleyball and, of course, softball,
Right.
It can be a big advantage, can it?
Yes, it get the girls' upper body strength. And you know, with softball, that's something you have to have. It's upper body strength in order to hit the ball.
And of course, volleyball is real strong down here, isn't it?
Oh yes, like I said earlier in the early segment, to me it's stronger down here than it is up north, and it's very, very competitive here.
And it just seems like, you know, I know, take for instance, Gulf Shores has some of the best tournaments I know in the Southeast, and if you ever go down there, you obviously see people from everywhere.
Right, they host this shrimp festival, which is about, what, two more weeks?
It's close.
And you have teams from Louisiana, teams from North Alabama. They all over down there, so it's very competitive tournament that they have.
Do you like playing in the tournaments?
Yes, we like playing in tournaments, but as for, you know, funds are kind of limited,
Yes,
so,
yes,
you know, we
it
do
can be
some
expensive.
fundraisers to try to get the money
It can
to
be
do.
expensive.
Yeah.
I like to see our schools participate against other schools. I see some of us, especially in basketball, will play basketball tournaments, and I invite you and you invite me, and you wind up playing one another 4 times a year.
Right.
I like to get those teams from outside to, you know, see somebody. I think it really is an advantage. Coach, what have you got planned? And we've got about a minute for your off season.
Well, what I tell my swimmers is in the off season, after we get complete or something, the pool is open. Just get in contact with me or something throughout the school, or if you see me walking or something, and I'll make arrangements where I'll bring my gear and bring his gear and her gear, and we'll swim some laps, take our time and just work.
That sounds great. Well, listen, Coach, I do appreciate you coming in. Like I said earlier, I like having these swims and cross-country people come in because I don't think we get enough of it. But I do appreciate the job you're doing and continue success. Ms. McCovey, always good to see you, friendly face, and hopefully you'll be around a lot longer. Thank y'all very much.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week.